Here we go.
We're live.
Says the live button right up there. I think so. I am getting my bearings here. Some new software that Anna was kind enough to show me.
Yeah, you got the hang of it pretty fast, which is one of the great things about StreamYards.
It is pretty user friendly, right? Like they do kind of lay it out for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me turn on my camera. Let's see. Can you see me? Am I glitchy?
Perfectly non-glitchy.
Cool. So some days StreamYards is great. Other days it's like glitchy and I robot out like crazy. So fingers crossed it's not one of those days. But what's up? How are you? I haven't seen you since the crazy night where you came to Chrissy's show and someone got into a fight.
That was gnarly. Yeah. Chrissy is so funny. I loved seeing her live. That was amazing. I'm so glad she had some dates in LA that I could make it to.
Yeah, hopefully you'll actually get to see like an entire show that's not interrupted by a crazy heckler.
Right. I mean, I think she did such a good job at like not letting it affect her and kind of using just kind of rolling with it, right? Like,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, she could have easily freaked out, but she held her ground, which was pretty cool.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I definitely would have freaked out for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if someone tried to like start a fight at your live show.
I mean, I wouldn't even have the courage to like go up on stage in front of people necessarily and
No,
do
you're
comedy.
hosting a podcast. You're not comfortable going up on stage?
I mean, I feel like a camera is so much different than, live on stage up there. Um,
Really?
oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about it.
I don't know. I've always felt maybe it's just me. I get more uncomfortable like talking to people like one on one than being up in front of a bunch of people because it's so like impersonal.
Right.
Whereas when you're like talking to someone one on one, you have to like connect on like a human level. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like really know someone to be feel comfortable like just standing there making small talk.
So, like, because you're so kind of removed and it's like a more of a group, it's like less like this, like a one-on-one type thing.
Yeah, but see, I know you, so it's not like awkward.
Right.
And like when we did meet, it was like one of those well, I have specific questions for you kind of meeting. It's not like you're just standing there like talking to strangers and having to like find common ground with them. I don't know.
Right.
If you're up, I think it's for me, same thing with YouTube. It's like I'm talking to a mirror. So it's like disconnected from, I don't know,
Yeah.
humans.
Could see that. I mean, yeah, you were so nice. I'm still kind of a YouTube rookie, but you've given us such great advice. And that first episode we did with you when you came on, and that was such a great episode. It was super informative. And we say this all the time, like we learn from our guests all the time, and like that was a great kind of YouTube teaching.
The instructional episode. No, I saw, the little clip that you guys did of me telling, like, my Star Wars story as your, like, most viewed video. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't even get that on my own channel," so I'm glad you guys
It,
your audience likes it.
oh, for sure. It's a great story. It's a great story. Origin story.
The origin story of that Star Wars girl.
100%.
So what's new with you, man?
Yeah, so man, I'm wrapping up my second feature film.
Ooh.
Um, we're basically shopping it right now. And, it's like you're kinda always in this situation where you can't really talk about it unless it's like the deal is done and it's like all that, but it's a documentary, a music documentary, and I'm really excited about it, and, like, everyone worked so hard on it for the last year or 2, and, now it's my turn as the producer to get a deal for this project and get it out there.
Okay. Oh, so you're just like a the producer on it?
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
write it or anything like your comics?
No, not necessarily. Definitely contributed creatively. Like I like to be a creative producer that also helps fundraise and organize everything and get the deals done and being the glue that like keeps everyone together, right? Like um but also it's like how do you work on a film and not try to contribute creatively somehow, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like an instinct or something.
Can you say, like, what kind of music it is?
Yeah, yeah, it's, EDM, so it's like DJs, like
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah.
I
Um
remember when that was, like, really getting popular and everyone's like, "Oh, do you listen to EDM music?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And
Right.
then, one year I went to Coachella and it was, like, all EDM music, and I'm like, "I don't know what any of this is."
Yeah, it's very, experience based kinda, right? Like, like, being there in the moment and, like, feeling the crowd and, um, you know, I feel like that's a huge part of it, like, the live performances because the genre kinda started, like, I think it was the '80s or '90s when, in the outskirts of London, they would basically go to, like, fields, like, random fields that no one owned or anything, that no permits, and just play this music and get thousands of people to show up and, very kinda underground, grassroots type of thing, and it just kinda, over the last, like, 30 years has become very, like, mainstream and commercialized, which I think just means having an infrastructure around it, right? Like, integrating itself into, mainstream society and not just kinda like after parties, at 3 AM.
Yeah, see, that's all I can think about, like, house music or, like, just party music, like, it's not something I personally could listen to, like, just driving around town unless I'm in a very specific mood, which I haven't discovered yet.
Right. It kinda like maybe a workout or, pre-gaming or something like that.
See, like, my workout is, like, Sabaton or, like, hardcore death metal.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
I mean,
the EDM music for that, but definitely if you're going out, like, that's I don't know, like, that's all I can think of when I associate EDM music. So, the
I
documentary just goes through the origin story of it and where it is now?
it follows, 2 specific DJs, and then it's, like, kinda like their path.
Okay.
So, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's fun, it's cool, so that's keeping me busy.
What about the horror thing that you were telling me about?
Yeah, so
Can you talk about
that one,
that now?
um, it's kind of like a little bit, right? For
Okay.
sure. It's I am a co-writer on it, so
Oh,
I wrote with a writing partner, but the script has been done for a while, and right now we're just trying to package it. So there's not, like, a
is it like
lot of news on it.
slasher, suspense? Like, what kind of horror movie can you say?
Yeah, yeah, it's it's definitely like a slasher, but it has a lot of, like, fun, modern, kinda fun, modern themes that make it stand out, right? Because if you're gonna do a traditional genre that's been done before, we wanted to, like, make sure to have that, I don't know what you wanna call it, that differentiating factor, right? Like, something that stands out and hasn't been done before, so we think it stands out, we think it's unique. But yeah, just
Is it your, like, first movie, a horror movie, like, the one that you filmed in Maui? Right?
what yeah, thank you. Yeah, the resort. Available pretty much everywhere digitally. Hulu and Amazon, Apple, DirecTV. Um, little shout out. The, that was more supernatural, paranormal.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but super fun to make. Yeah, a
See, I'm
bunch,
like the biggest scaredy cat, so I don't like scary movies at all because they just traumatize me and I'll get nightmares, like, I cannot get in a pool by myself because of Jaws.
oh,
Like, it
yeah.
There's an invisible shark in the pool. I can't physically be in a pool by myself or I start to freak out. So I'm one of those people that's super susceptible to like scary movies. But ironically, my favorite movie outside of Star Wars is Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Whoa, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
scary one.
Well, see, I've never been afraid of it. I think like the most scary aspect is like when she's in the dark at the end, but even that, it's like, well, I know she's gonna kill him, so
Right,
but I don't know,
right.
I think it's like because it's real, like serial killers are a real thing, so it made me more of like, okay, these are the warning signs to look for, like even if somebody is like injured and they need help moving something into a van, don't do it.
You were like, it's more grounded kinda thing? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I could see that. What was there a film that, like, did it for you where you're like, okay, you, like, watched it and then you were kinda like that, or was it just more of like, "I'm not even gonna mess with it"?
Well, my younger sister, she was obsessed with horror films, so, like, I like the Star Wars and the sci-fi and the fantasy, and she was like, "I just wanna watch people get hacked to pieces," and I'm like, "Hell no." I don't like getting scared, I don't like the jump scares, like, even watching Halloween, I'm like, "Just run," and then the irritation of how stupid people are. Like, now as an
Right.
adult, I'm like, "They deserve to die." Like, "In this situation, you are so stupid. Just die. I have no sympathy."
Right, and it's you try to yeah, you like as a writer, you try to, like, make things as plausible as possible, I guess, where you kinda have to put him in danger and have to get him in precarious situations, so it's like,
How do you make
try
it
to
realistic?
yeah, yeah.
Well, somebody said, "How about Alien?" See, that's a good one. That is, like, sci-fi and horror mixed, but the thing about that is the reason why Ellen Ripley lives is because she's the smartest one. She doesn't get
Right,
herself into a situation well, and to be fair, half of those people didn't know at first about that the alien was gonna savagely murder them. Like, they didn't know.
right.
So after a while, they're like, "Okay, well, let me just go over here by myself." Oh, dead.
Yeah, that is a classic.
It's so good. But, like, the
Sigourney.
stuff like Saw, like, I can't do it. I think I watched, like, a couple scenes from Saw 3, and I was like, "Ugh," like, physically ill from that. Oh,
Oh,
what's
yeah, they
Nina?
oh, I
I ha
don't
do you have the chat open? Say hello. Hello, everyone in the chat.
I need to pull it up. I don't even know how to pull it up.
You can pull it up on here. If you see the private chat and then comments, you can just click on comments, and
Private
it shows
chat.
you everybody from your channel that's commenting.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. See? I'm still learning. There we go.
Okay, so you wrote a horror movie that's all supernatural, so is that, like, your favorite genre of horror?
Um, well, the one so sorry, it's confusing because there's 2.
The island one, the Maui one.
Yeah, yeah, I just produced that one,
Okay.
but I don't know what my favorite genre it's a great question, right? Because like, Silence of the Lambs is so good, and it's almost like more of a thriller, and it's
Yeah,
like the
like a
first
suspense thriller. But you know what's
right.
funny? Everyone always says, "Oh, that if you like Silence of the Lambs, you'll like 7," and I hated 7.
Oh, you didn't like 7?
It was such there's something about that era of movies where it's like, I don't know, the lighting, the color schemes, it's just grimy, and it makes me feel, like, claustrophobic, the way that it's shot. I hate it. I hated that one. Maybe it was, like, the sets or, like, because I don't think it was low budget, but it just it made me feel like I was in a box just getting squeezed, and that took me out of watching the movie.
Right.
But
I mean, that's how I feel about, like, prison movies. I can't watch I just feel like, "Oh, man," you
like,
know?
Smile, you can't watch it?
It's just tough. It's just like yeah, it's tough.
Okay, but so back to the question, what's your favorite, like, horror?
Yeah, so if I guess a good way to do it is be like, "What are your favorite horror films?" And then figure out the
Yeah,
genre.
yeah,
Like, Exorcist and The Omen are probably, like, my 2 favorite.
yeah. Okay.
And Rosemary's Baby is up there. So, like, kinda like more of the
I like
classic
Supernatural.
supernatural, I guess, yeah.
Okay, see, I love Gregory Peck, but I don't think I've ever even seen any of those movies all the way through.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't so, I'm not afraid of ghosts or, like, exorcist movies because I don't believe in ghosts, so I just kind of get bored very easily from them. Rosemary's Baby, I think, was the one that I wanted to watch, but my mother hates Mia Farrow, so she wouldn't buy any of her movies.
That's pretty funny.
But, I know everyone, like, talks about The Exorcist, and ironically, we had, like, The Exorcist 2, and what's the one with, it's not even really about the exorcism, Emily Rose, is that one?
Yep, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, yeah.
Okay, so I watched that one, and that was so boring. I'm like, "Where is the exorcist? I have been told since I was a kid that there's a kid that her head spins around. Where is this movie?"
I never saw that one.
Okay, well, none of that happens. It's boring. It's like it's the most boring lawsuit case ever.
Oh, man, it's more of like a legal one?
Yeah, it was not even, like, really horror. It was just she's a lawyer, and she got off this one priest that was a pedo, and then she got off the one guy for the bad exorcism, and then or, like, n maybe he's not a pedo, maybe he's a murderer or something, but then at the end, it's like, "Oh, well, this guy just killed people again, and you got him off, so now you're the lawyer that gets off the bad guys."
Huh.
Like, that was dumb.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's much exercising.
No, there wasn't, and I was very disappointed because I was like, "I've been told about how traumatic this movie is," and I was like, I kind of wanna see it to see the hype for it, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched The Exorcist.
I mean, that would be one.
I probably should.
It is, like, the scariest movie of all time, like, one of them.
No, Jaws is
So,
pretty scary to me.
Jaws is scary, yeah, if you're near a body of water, absolutely.
Well, you and I both live in, like, walking well, I
On the
guess not you
coast.
because you live up on a mountain, but we can see the ocean from our houses, so that is kind of a worry for me.
Yeah, yeah, I had a stepbrother growing up who, after we saw Jaws when we were way too young, like, literally just couldn't get in the pool for,
Yep.
forever, for sure.
Yeah, I feel his pain.
Yeah, I think everyone like, that feeling of being in the deep end. Did you see Open Waters, or was
The
it
one where it's, like, the sharks that have, like, the cure for, like, cancer in their brain, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, is that one?
Oh, Deep Blue Sea? Is that Deep Blue Sea?
I don't know.
I think
All I Any horror movie it has probably been on, whether or not I was in the room watching it is questionable because me and my sisters, since we only had 1 TV in the house growing up, and so it would be my turn, then it was the other sister, then the youngest, so we would rotate whose turn it was on the TV. It's like the most civil sibling understanding we ever
I
had.
was about to say, very diplomatic.
But, anytime it was my sister Ellen's turn, it was a scary movie, and so I'm like, "Alright, I'm gonna go outside." I'm not
Oh,
watching.
so you did, like, watch a bunch of them, and then you were like, "Okay."
So she would make us watch The Human Centipede on Christmas.
Ooh,
So I have
oof.
seen The Human Centipede way too many times that I don't think anyone needs to see that movie at all, but the amount that I have seen it, especially on Christmas,
Yeah,
yeah,
on Chris like, I couldn't think of a gnarlier movie to watch on Christmas.
well, that's what we watch.
There are no veto powers on Outliers?
Not if it's your turn for the movie.
The rules are the rules.
Well, we would always have Christmas at my cousin's house, and they had, like, a TV in every room, so at least one of the TVs had Human Centipede. And my aunt's
Okay.
one of those, like, yes people that she's like, "Oh, yeah, let's try it." It was like, "We watched it last year.
Oh
Like,
my
why are we
gosh.
watching this again?" But I'm assuming your movie isn't, like, that level of insanity, is it?
No, no. That that was kinda like a modern marvel right there. That was,
Hey, did
but
you know there's another one? You don't like prisons. There's one where it's at a prison now.
combining 2 very hard things to watch.
Oh,
Whew.
yeah.
The, there's a sequel to Human Centipede.
There's 4 sequels to Human Centipede.
Where have I been living? Okay,
Yes, the
interesting.
second one is, like, a fan that's obsessed with the guy because he watched the Human Centipede movie, and then he decides to do it with, like, 100 people, and he's not a medical doctor, so it's, like, just hacking people up, And then actually, I think the third one is the prison. So maybe there's only 3 Human Centipede movies. I feel like there's 4, but whatever.
Hey, if they're making money, man, get
Yep.
out there for sure.
See, the one that I think aside from Jaws that scared me the most was Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Cre yeah.
That one even the song, like, when there's a song that goes around with it, I was like, "Oh, fuck this." I
I
can't
remember seeing that a while. It's been a minute, though. I can't It's been a
it's
minute.
like where he's a creature that comes back, like, what, every 27 years and he needs to eat, like, people's organs, so he kills them, and then at the end, he, like, steals the brother's eyes, like, oh, that freaked me out.
I do remember that. Yep. Yep. That was, like, early 2000s, right? I think?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a while ago. That means it's, like, 20 years old now.
They need
That's
to
so
do a little
crazy to think about.
anniversary, theatrical run.
Oh god.
I mean, I literally we would have a tradition every Friday, we'd try to find, like, a new scary movie when we had, like, sleepovers at our buddies' houses. Like, what was that, like, 8th grade, something like that?
Mhm.
And we just try to find a bunch, and we ended up watching so many, Nightmare on Elm Street, Exorcist, like, all this stuff we're talking about, and,
I've never seen
um,
Nightmare on Elm Street. I've never seen any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street is very creepy. Like, yeah,
I've
the
seen the scene with Johnny Depp when he, like, dies and gets sucked into the bed, but I've never I know 'cause I'm a scaredy cat, like, I will get nightmares and I won't be able to sleep, so I just, like, I can't do it. I
that's
still
a classic scene.
as an adult, I still can't watch it 'cause I'm still that much of a scaredy cat, like, I told my friends this story and they're like, "You're crazy," but when I go to bed, I I sleep, like, on my side with my arm out, and I
Right.
can't sleep with my arm hanging off the bed 'cause I'm afraid that, like, an invisible shark is gonna jump out of my floor and bite my arm off.
I can't believe other people have that. For me, it's my foot. If my foot's hanging off the bed, I feel like someone's gonna grab it.
Oh my god, like a monster under the bed.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting.
Oh, you got a super chat.
Oh, okay, here we go. Now I got it up. The fattening for $2 or €2? Is that €2?
Pounds, I think.
Pounds. Oh, there we go. Jaws would take one look at your feet and flee, Anna.
I
Oh,
know.
no.
I know. Yeah.
I I can save you on that one. My father and my brother would make fun of me for they say I have hobbit feet.
Probably not as bad as mine. I actually just broke my toe, the other night,
What
so
happened?
I don't know. I have really freakishly long toes, and they get caught on things. I've broken all my toes multiple times, but it's the one right next to my pinky on my right foot, and I don't know, I was just walking outside, and I either stumped it, but, like, when I was taking a step, like, since they're so long, they'll kinda curve under when I step down sometimes, kinda like fingers or like gorilla fingers, and I hit it wrong on the cement, and so
Stubbed it?
it jammed it, and so it's pretty swollen and purple and yellow, and then I got the great idea to go to the beach yesterday, which really helped walking on the sand, and it got even bigger, so it's pretty messed up, but I pretty much lost all feeling in my toes since I've broken them all so many times.
Have you really?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever broken a toe.
I've broken all of them so many times. Like, when I go and get my pedicures done, my toes are all, like, funky, and they're like, "What happened to your feet?" And I'm like, "I've broken them." So I'm like, "Just paint them so they so they look straight." Like, you don't have to paint them all, like, crooked like the way my toe actually goes.
Use, like, smoke and mirrors. Use the lighting and the shading.
Yeah, just make
That's
it look
great.
nice. As long as they look nice, but no, my toes are pretty fucked up right now, so yeah, the fattening, thank you for that. Yeah, the sharks won't even wanna eat my toes.
They're looking for my hobbit feet on the bed.
Oh, there you go. I saw this video, you know how, when you're on Instagram now and you're scrolling through, it'll automatically, like, here's a bunch of reels that you need to watch, and they know I'm afraid of sharks because how, like, they listen to everything you say, and they're like, "Oh, you're afraid of sharks? Let's show you a bunch of shark content." And there's one, and it's a person swimming, and you can see, like, the shadow of the shark off to the side, and then starts following them. I was like, "Oh, hell no."
Oh my god.
Hell no. The anxiety just skyrockets.
The sh sharks are very scary. But we have a buddy who's actually he came on the pod, Justin Wolf, and he thinks whales are scarier than sharks because they're bigger and, like, an orca can just come
Oh,
in and mess you up, but I'm like, "Dude," you
orca's a
know,
little different.
I just think sharks are by far scarier.
Yeah, hundreds of rows of teeth, and they're just like giant killing machines, of course. I don't know, like, I would be afraid of an orca, but I don't think I'd be as afraid of an orca as a shark, 'cause I feel like I could reason with an orca on some level. You know, with a
Talk
shark,
him out of it.
I'm just gonna die, like, I would just have a heart attack and just die. If I'm in the water with a shark, I'm like, I'm gonna be dead before the shark even gets to me, 'cause I'm just gonna die of fear.
Yeah, there's nothing scarier, like, being in the ocean and seeing that fin, but
Did you see that video that was going viral of the guys in Florida, and there's that big shark, and they're, like, trying to get it back in the water? I was like, "Good for you." I woulda ran as fast as I could to my car and left.
I actually
Oh,
did see
no.
that, and he was, like, whipping back trying to bite them too as they were doing it. It reminded me of, Kramer or no, George in Seinfeld,
Mhm.
where he's like, "Is anyone here a marine biologist?" And he's like, George he goes in and pulls the golf ball out of the whale's,
Out
thing.
of the whale.
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't watched that show in so long. I didn't know that nobody liked George, and I was like, "George is the best part of the show." I can't stand Jerry, I can't stand Elaine, I can't stand Kramer. I could watch George all day, every day because he's so hilarious.
So George is essentially like Larry David's self-insert,
Yeah.
where right? Like, so that's funny because yeah, George is amazing, and
He's the best. I love the episode where he's engaged to the one chick, but what is the girl from Aunt May from the new Spider-Man?
oh, Marissa Tomei?
Yeah, and he's, like, in love with her, and she's, like, willing to go out on a date with him, but he's engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
It is so funny because he's, like, watching all of her movies, and his fiance's like, "Oh, you like Marissa Tomei?" And he's like, "I just like this movie."
It's such a good show.
Uh,
My brother just he loves Seinfeld so much.
I
He'd
was always
quote
a
that all day.
Friends person.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up on Friends and Rugrats.
Rugrats, oh my gosh, that's a throwback. Did you have the VHS that was bright orange?
Oh my gosh, maybe?
Do you remember that? Like, Rugrats
I
Go to Paris?
I had, like, a weird flashback in my head of, like, a memory I haven't accessed in, like, 30 years.
Really?
I think so.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, yeah, not 30, but 20,
There you go.
maybe. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
closer. And I feel like it sucks today that, like, kids don't get good shows like that, like, now they all just watch kids online, like, playing Minecraft. They don't go and watch Rugrats or, like, the Wild Thornberrys or Recess.
Yeah. On YouTube, right? It's YouTube now?
Oh, it's all YouTube, man. Like, you have a younger brother. What does he watch actual cartoons, or does he just watch YouTube?
So, mainly YouTube, but, like, if we're, you know, on vacation with the family, he would, like, sit down with Pops and watch, like, SpongeBob on the couch or, like, if we're in, like, a family setting or something like that, do something more communal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it'll be mainly YouTube on the iPad for sure. He's, like, sending me Doctor Disrespect videos now after he saw me as the Doc. It's so funny.
I have only ever seen clips of Doctor Disrespect, and then when he got, like, canceled off of Twitch for no reason, I watched his, like, comeback stream to, like, YouTube, and that's about it, but my friend Drunk3PO has the funniest clip of him. I guess he was, like, not feeling good, and so in this clip, he's just like, I have massive diarrhea. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom. It's gonna come out and I'll be right back. And then it's like a laughing clip. And I was like, oh my God, imagine being that ballsy just to flat out say that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he'll go for it. He'll go for it. He's, one of my streaming idols. One of
Oh,
my
really?
I mean, I just think he's
He's
hilarious.
got insane production value.
He's won, like, some streamer awards. I think it's mainly for, all the green screen stuff he does and all the graphic design that goes into it, and yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah,
Rome
I've never played. What does he just play like COD?
no, he kinda stopped playing COD for a bit. Yeah, he does, like, Apex and, his number 1 game is PUBG, I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, he'll kinda go around, like, when Only Up came out, he, like, speed ran that,
Mm.
kinda mess around.
See, now I'm like, since I started really getting into gaming now, all I will do is like if I see someone that's playing a game that I'm playing, I'm like, how hard is this gonna be?
Yeah,
Like Elden Ring
I'm
stuff.
Elden Ring, that was such a amazing game. I just, like, am a fan of, like, the art, right? Like,
Mm.
by the way, like, the new Spider-Man 2 game
Oh god.
is I was playing with my little brother,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Can you beat this for me?" Um, but the cinematics and the directing is unlike anything I've ever seen. Like, Hollywood can't really compete with video games in that regard. Like, it's essentially 30 Spider-Man movies in one game. Like, you can play as, like, Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse, you can play as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Mm.
And when I say play as, I mean, like, the costumes, but it looks exactly like them. So it's like and every level is like a 3rd act finale with, like, a massive set piece with, like, a huge boss and, like, Spider-Man classic villains, and it's really crazy how big video games have gotten, and it's like, yeah, you go to the movies and, you get 2 hours and you get 1
Mm.
big finale, and you can get, like, 10 big finales in, like, a couple hours in the game, right? Um,
I haven't played the new Spider-Man game yet. I've heard like nothing but bad things about it, so I was like, "Ah, well, I just won't play it then."
what was it what kinda bad things? Like
Like, so how, like, hideous MJ is, and then, I guess there's, like, a deaf character, and so they mute the game when you play as her, and so people didn't like that, and
you
then
I
as
don't think you play as her.
well, I guess it goes into, like, her point of view at one point, and so it, like, mutes the game entirely, and then I think from what I heard from my friend who was playing it, he hasn't finished it yet, but he said that he wants to play as just as Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and so
There
I
is a lot of switching characters from the limited piece I saw with my little
mm,
brother.
yeah, I don't know, I just finished that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game that came out a few years ago, and I was like, that was the most anticlimactic ending, like, after so I was never big into gaming because I wasn't allowed to play video games, and so Elden Ring came out, and they're like, "You gotta play it, it's the hardest game ever," so I was like, "Okay, I've only ever played KOTOR, so and KOTOR 2, so I'll play
Classic,
Elden Ring."
classic.
So I went from KOTOR to Elden Ring, which is a very big difference,
Yep.
and so now after that, I compare everything to it, and I was like, "That was what the hell?"
See, in KOTOR, you can, like, stop and, like, choose your action. Elden Ring is like, "Everything's attacking me all at once."
Yeah. Yeah, and I got so much shit because I spent a lot of time farming, but I was like, "You kind of have to even get to a level where you can compete with these bad guys." But it was so
Yeah.
satisfying to win, so now any game, I'm like, I have to play it at the hardest difficulty level or it's not even worth my time. So I beat Fallen Order in, like, Grandmaster mode,
Oh, wow.
and so I was like, "Yes, I feel kind of accomplished," but it ended, and I was like, "That was the ending, really?" Like especially compared to, like, something like KOTOR, the story there was so good, and I prefer
Yeah.
KOTOR 2 to KOTOR 1, so that's, like, my threshold for good video game stories. I tried following the Elden Ring one, and at one point I'm like, "I'm just gonna kill things and just try to win."
I feel like they're intentionally ambiguous with the narrative in Elden Ring, right? It's like you kinda have to piece everything together, and because there is no linear way to play, essentially, it's, like, very hard to piece that together.
Yeah, I was watching one about I went to the Volcano Manor and
Oh, yeah.
trying to, like, find because there's 2 bosses, like, there's the main boss and there's the secret boss. So I was watching a video on how to get to the secret boss, and then it's, like, the girl that turns into the snake, and then you can either kill her or not kill her, and I was like, "Well, I don't wanna kill her because I wanna find out if that's, like, an alternate ending kind of thing," but it was interesting, like, just all of the things that I missed and watching a video of somebody else that's, like, going through and even they don't know what the end result's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of choice, a lot of player choice, a lot of different variety. That game, man, From Software.
Well, I wanna go back and play all the Dark Souls games now. I was told that, like, not to play Dark Souls 2, apparently, 'cause that's bad, but I definitely wanna go through all of the Souls games because 'cause I'm like, if they're at the level of Elden Ring or if not harder, like, I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, even Demon Souls is remastered, and Sekiro is pretty hard. Uh,
Yeah. That's like you're a samurai, right?
yeah, yeah, or
Is
yeah.
it PS4 exclusive, or can I play it on Steam?
Is Sekiro on Steam? I'm not certain, but what did I play it on, Xbox or
Mm, okay,
PlayStation?
so it's like console. I have
Yeah,
I have the consoles, it's just such a pain in the butt to have to hook them up to the PC and then try to stream
look
everything.
it up.
I gotta tell you, when I first started streaming, how like, you had problems with StreamYards in the beginning. When I first started streaming video games, I was so low tech. I had my phone on a tripod pointed at my TV in my living room,
Oh, no.
and yeah, so that's how I played KOTOR, and then I finally got, like, the video game set up, and everyone was like, "Yay, finally."
That's actually incredible. That's very, MacGruber of you.
Well, I tried.
Yeah, MacGyver, MacGruber. It's a compliment. It's a compliment. Figuring things out, getting it done.
My industriousness.
Oh,
To
yeah,
get it
absolutely.
on Steam? Oh, it is? Okay, perfect. Well, there is one that somebody said was an X or a PlayStation 4 exclusive, so I was like, "Eh."
The, should we talk about Comic-Con?
Mhm.
A little Comic-Con action?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so last year, I didn't really get to see I saw you guys at the panel, but I didn't really get to hang out and talk with you guys.
Yeah, we came to your guys' panel, me and Brock.
Yeah.
Um, that was awesome. Great panel, by the way.
Thank you.
I was watching one of Chris's, streams. It might have been the Nooner or something, but I think he said he's doing a similar one, or he's doing multiple, I think. I don't know. Sounded like he's got a bunch of things cooking, though.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't expect anything less for sure.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be the same one, and then I think he's got a few more because I think there's gonna be more people coming to LA Comic Con, and I don't know about you, but after going to LA and San Diego, I actually like LA Comic Con a lot better.
I love it. I love it.
Are you guys gonna have, like, your whole booth with your comic and all that?
Yeah, so we'll do a booth again, 100%, and we're working on a panel. Um, Nothing set in stone yet, but we'll definitely keep everyone posted on that. And let's see, panel, and then we might do like a Studio 22 thing there, whether it's like a booth where we can record in or some sort of setup. So that'd be kind of cool. Keep everyone posted on that. Um, but yeah, we're just trying to, you know, do as much as we can and have fun like we did last year, and
Mhm.
make as much content as possible. But we and now we have so many more books now too. We're
What
announcing
have you made?
a ton, a
Yeah,
ton.
because
So
I only
we
read the first one, but what issue of Kane are you on now?
okay, so for Kane,
Mhm.
we will be selling the full volume 1 with issues 1 through 5, like the full volume 1 trade, where like all of them in one. And then for McKenna, we're gonna be selling the trade for that very soon after, but definitely issues 3 and 4, um, there or close to there.
Wow,
Um,
you've been busy.
yeah, and then we're announcing, 3 more, like the Ancient Greece one
Uh-huh.
that's already 3 to 4 issues in, but we're kinda saving it. Um, and then the gladiator style one, we got pirates, we got Vikings. It's great. We just
Yeah,
there's
you're going pretty hardcore into this.
for sure. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Storytelling and, the visual arts. It's crazy. It's, movies, video games, comic books. It's like we're all kind of doing the same thing,
Yeah.
telling
Well, and
stories.
you've been super busy. I have a lot of friends that, put out like one comic every few years. So for you to already have 5 issues now, what it's been like a year since you were telling me about it. I remember when I was there for the podcast and then you showed me like the preliminary art that your artist was doing for you. And now you already have like a full volume and like wow, how many ever other issues in the works. That's a lot of work, man.
I appreciate that a ton. We have been hard at work for sure, and Brock and I have been just working on it a ton. I can't think of another creative way to say that.
Has it, like,
Um,
evolved like, did you have, like, an initial, like, plot lined out, and then has it, like, evolved from that?
yeah, that's a good question, actually. Like, it really has. We kind of started with Kane, the main one, but
Mhm.
then it's like, how do we connect these stories from ancient Greece and ancient Rome and, the Caribbean and the golden age of piracy and, how do we connect them all? Um, and that has been probably the hardest part, like making it each one fresh and unique, but also, um, you know, some connective tissue while keeping them all entertaining and unique on their own. Um, but yeah, no, it's just been I kind of went into like a writing frenzy the last year and a half, and but yeah, I appreciate that a ton. We're gonna get we'll have like a lot more official stuff um, when we're gonna do some announcements in the coming weeks, but that's pretty much what we're doing.
That's really cool. So let me ask you, you got your main character says the don't know in the chat. So your main character is like a werewolf, right?
So the main character Kane is based off Brock O'Hearn, obviously,
Yeah.
um, and
Thor.
he Thor, yeah, yeah. Um, he isn't a werewolf technically.
Okay, but
So
there's
like,
werewolves in your book. So I have to ask you,
yeah,
I was like the werewolf lore is it's so, like, inconsistent. I f like, vampires is like, okay, they can't go in the sun, they gotta drink blood, very, very standard. Werewolves is like, they turn into a werewolf on the full moon, but most of the time they can control it, they just have to at the full moon. So,
right.
your opinion, based on your knowledge of werewolves, are werewolves immortal, or do they, like, grow old and die? You tell me.
Great question. So the only thing I can speak to is what we do with werewolves, right?
'Kay.
So we base our werewolves off of the actual mythology of King Lycaon when he tried to trick Zeus at dinner and feed him human flesh. And Zeus caught him trying to trick him and turned King Lycaon and all his sons into werewolves. And they were cursed where they would thirst for human flesh, right? So it's in a way like a vampire where, like, excuse me, they need human flesh. But those are like the bad ones that are cursed. And then that forms all the evil werewolves. And then there's also a good line of werewolves that stems from Achilles, who's the
Mhm.
patriarch of the family back in the Trojan War. And we don't mess around with any full moon stuff. Like they're like the Hulk,
The
right?
thing.
They're yeah. Well, like there is like full moon stuff, but it's not like you turn no matter what on a full moon. Like you can turn whenever you want. Like the Incredible Hulk in the new Marvel stuff.
Okay. It got kinda like underworld werewolves or lichens, I should say.
I that's probably the closest, right?
But see, in underworld, they're immortal.
Oh, so their weakness is silver.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with, like, werewolves, right? It's werewolves and vampires, like, silver. Some reason they're cool with gold, but silver, it's like,
Yeah,
that's a no-go.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so
do
but
the
in underworld, like, the werewolves, they basically same thing with vampires, like, whatever age they mature at, or vampires, I guess, whatever age they get turned, like, they just stop aging, and then they're just, like, alive forever, but it's like, or do werewolves get old and die?
ours do get old and die, but they're more of like a they're more of like a Yoda or a Jedi where they not Yoda because he lives like super long, but like a Jedi who can like just kind of live longer, right? Like because
They
they do
don't kill
have increased
them,
everything.
but they still get old and die, whereas vampires are, like, immortal in whatever age they got turned.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to be one, would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
A werewolf? For sure, werewolf, because we got werewolves.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
See, most people are like vampires because they have, like, more magic powers, like, they can mind control you, they can turn into, like, mists or bats, and even in that, the Gary Oldman Dracula, like, he kinda turns into a freaking werewolf, so I was like, that's, like, a little mix of everything there.
Right.
I
That's
don't
a
know, like,
good
my thing, I'm like, I wouldn't want to be limited to, like, not being able to go outside at a certain time of day, like, werewolves don't have that problem,
yeah.
you know, like,
Sunlight doesn't affect them, yeah.
anytime, but yeah.
It's a good
It's
point.
I don't know, I was like, I feel like there's always like, vampires are a little bit more popular than werewolves, but and I feel like there's less of a benefit to being a vampire than a werewolf.
I feel like the immortal thing wouldn't be as cool as it sounds, right?
Yeah. You know,
Like
when we're all kids, we're like, "Yeah, we wanna live forever," but now I'm like, "So you have to watch everyone you love die?
right.
Like, that sucks."
And you're just like, you know, just kinda there forever.
Yeah, forever. Just miserable. I watched, I don't know if you saw, like, that little indie film, it was with Tom Hiddleston and Tilda what the hell is her last name? The White Queen lady.
Swinton?
Swinton? Yeah. It's called The Only Lovers Left Alive, and they're, like, vampires, and then but it's weird because they can't drink from humans because there's some kinda disease that she'll get, and so they had, like, a blood bank dealer, and then they lost that, so it's like, "Ah, shit, we're hungry." But it was a really bizarre movie, but I just remember, like, how, like, old they are and, like, how they're just, like, so bored of life.
Right. It's like the curse of immortality, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think in Blade, they had like a
Those problems.
sorry?
I said, "I feel like werewolves don't have those problems."
No, yeah. They just gotta go around and doing their thing.
So I only read issue 1 of your book, but, are there vampires in it, or is it just werewolves?
Well, first off, thanks for reading issue 1.
Yeah.
Um, we so we, like we're gonna incorporate tons of mythological creatures as we go, like, in ancient Greece, there's a witch queen who's, like I kinda use the term, like, were-dragon, but it just means she can turn into a
Oh,
dragon,
she's a
right? So,
shifter?
like sorry?
A shifter.
Yeah, they're shapeshifters, right. Yeah, exactly, yeah, that's a better term. But we have a lot of that, like, in Cain issue 4, we have, like, um, her name's actually Anna,
Mm,
but she's like a leopard, like a were-leopard or like a shapeshifter. Anna with 1 A, though.
1 A. Anne,
1 A,
Amy.
Anna. So, like, our whole thing is based on, like, shapeshifters, and each culture has, like, a different, um, kinda prime animal, but there's all different types, and we have traditional, mythological stuff too, like gorgons, like the Medusa thing,
Mhm.
leviathans, and all that, the whole Greek pantheon of gods, so we have a lot of toys to play with for sure.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Clash of the Titans when you were a kid? Like the old school one?
The best.
Yeah, that one was awesome. They have on Sideshow, they have, like, the big, Kraken thing and, like, with, like, the
Oh,
tiny
no
on
way.
it. I was so tempted to buy it, but I was like, "Do I really wanna drop $500 on this? It's just gonna sit on
Oof.
my shelf." So I haven't done it yet, but I was like, "Oh, so cool." And then I watched
I'm
the new Clash of the Titans, and I hated it. I'm like, "Please bring back the puppets."
Yeah, that original, my brother and I loved watching that movie.
It was so good.
It really was.
Even the scene where he, like, follows her when she goes in, like, the cage and it flies to, like, the swamps and he's in the swamp and he's, like, invisible and Calavac's, like, following him. It's like I was like, "Oh," like, the tension even though he can't see anything, it's so good.
And the Cerberus, right? The three-headed dog?
Yeah, puppy dog. And then
Yeah.
the little owl, so cute.
You
All
I
of it
bet
was made with literally just practical effects, like, no green screen, so it's like they could you could do it. You could do it, movies.
definitely. We, in our horror film, we actually did all pretty much all practical for all the gore and all that type of stuff.
For when your most recent one or the previous one?
The previous one, the resort. Yeah, we were like, "We gotta go old-fashioned with this," and so we, like, built out a face that we could, like, tear off one of the guys. Brock has his head, like, explode. It's crazy. We, like Yeah, we went all out with it. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh my god, Doctor Coffin Nails, you are terrible. So I love you folks, but stop trolling the my friends run a clean show over here. He has no idea.
Oh, we gotta read it, right?
Yeah, you can read it, but I'm gonna have to explain to you the backstory, and then you're gonna be like, "Why am I friends with this person?"
Doctor Coffin Nails for $5. Thank you so much. Since Russell isn't here, I guess I have to step up. Anna, would you become a werewolf and lick Doctor Crusher's moon to save it? Edward the vampire.
No, I would not. Edward can die.
Yeah, that oh god, I'm dealing with
So,
some
Russell Hall is like a I love him. He's a wonderful, wonderful troll, but his entire goal in life is to try to send super chats with very strange scenarios to try to get me to do lesbian stuff, and it just doesn't work.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's what the reference is. But no, no, you degenerate. Don't you start doing that too, Dr. Coffin Nails.
Well, thank you for the $5.
Thank
Appreciate that. 100%. Or is Buffy taboo in the vampire community? Um, I feel like Mahler talks a lot about Buffy.
Yeah, my sisters really loved Buffy. I watched it too, but I'm just like, it just makes me think of the past, and then I get all depressed, so I don't talk about Buffy as much. But no, I didn't really watch Angel. I remember that I was a little when we got it because we didn't watch it on cable because we didn't have cable. But so like my sister would get like remember when they came out with DVDs of the seasons?
Oh,
So
yeah.
she had that. And I think I was like too old and playing too many sports. So I didn't really watch Angel. But well, the guy that played Spike, he's from my hometown, and I ran
Oh,
into him at
wow.
the supermarket. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. Like, you know, it just watch a lot of Mahler's streams,
Mhm.
and he talks about Buffy and Angel a lot. I gotta check it out because I respect his opinion a lot on, content.
Yeah, yeah, no, Mahler's a huge, huge Buffy fan. Even in this last he did a video on the Ahsoka show, and he was doing the comparison when, like, Buffy thinks her sister is dead. If
Oh
you
my god, that was amazing. And
and then
Futurama.
yeah, and Futurama and all of those, and then he's like, "And then this is what they did in Star Wars." He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
It's
that
so
was a great video. He's, like, surgical with it.
Oh, yeah. And Mahler's great at doing, like, breakdowns like that. I wish I had the patience to do it. I tried. I don't do scripts or anything like that. If I have to read something or memorize something, all forms of charisma just evacuate the building.
Oh, no.
So I tried. I went on this, like, huge, like, essay rant, and I, like, typed everything up in Google Docs, and then I went to go, like, record my audio, and I was like, "This is terrible."
I bet it was better than you're
No,
saying,
no, it
but
was bad, it was so boring, and then it's funny because I mess with the audio to, like, try to make it in, like, slow-mo or fast, like and I actually sounded better, like, slow-mo where my voice is so slow like a dude's, and I
huh.
was like, "Maybe that's the secret to it, I don't know."
That's interesting, kinda playing with different, like, ways to mess I haven't tried any of that. I wonder, should I, like, lower my voice? Try something
Well,
like that?
I used to do these little things on Twitter where instead of, like, posting tweets, I would, like, do little videos and I would speed up my voice so I sound like the Alvin and the Chipmunks, and
That's a
people
classic
really
move.
liked those, so I was like, "Maybe I could do a chipmunk video." Just experimenting with different video styles, but I was like, "No, I just have to talk."
Yeah, we have, like, the Rodecaster that we use for, the audio, and
Mhm.
it has, like, the built-in settings, and, Brock and I, the first live stream we did, we were just, like, messing around with all the effects. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, let me
But
see if mine work. Yeah,
oh, hell yeah.
button, that one. Yeah, I just am learning about all of my buttons, but I still am trying to figure out recently this mic, I got the same one that Nick and, like, Yellow Flash use, and so I have the Rodecaster Pro and all of that, and then I guess my voice is, like, cutting out, and when people talk, this mic stops picking up my voice. So, I've had a lot of problems with it, and I've been trying to figure it out. I'm just not that tech savvy when it comes to this kinda stuff, and I can't hear myself back, so I can't see if I fixed it or not, so it's just been hell.
You're tech savvy. You basically taught me everything about what we're how to operate.
I am software savvy. I'm not
Software savvy.
tech savvy, I think. I can plug everything in, but after that, I'm like, if it doesn't work, I don't know how to fix it.
Fair enough. I'll still give you props for being good at it. Oh,
Try.
another super chat. Dr. Coffin Nails, thank you for the $2. Will either of you be at C2 E2 in 2024?
So like John said, John was one of the ones that invited me, and I told him I would go if everything is met as far as when him and Shane launch their campaign. But my brother is supposed to be getting married in April,
Oh, wow.
and I asked him what weekend, and I guess they're having, like, trouble locking down a venue, but the plan is for April, if not early May. So I told John, I was like, "I can go as long as it's not when my brother's getting married."
Right.
So that's kind of a big deal, and I told him, I was like, "If he gets married on a Saturday, then I'll go to the wedding, and then I'll, like, get a red eye out to Chicago, and I'll be there for at least one day." So,
That seems fair. Seems
yeah, but
fair.
weddings are kind of important.
Yeah, for the bro, absolutely.
Yeah, what about you? You gonna go to C2E2 in Chicago?
I don't think I'll be making it. I don't think I'll be making it. We are looking at other conventions for sure. We're kind of like, because we're doing more at LA Comic Con this year, we
Mhm.
want to establish like a new kind of convention template essentially,
Yeah.
and just get all that set. And then once we have more of a set idea on what we're doing, we can kind of take it on the road, so to speak.
Okay, so I have a great con for you to go to. Now, this is the con it was the first con I ever, like, worked at, so I had, like, a booth to, like, show all of my horror paintings,
Oh, cool.
and it's called, Midsummer Scream. It's in Long Beach, and it is, like, the fastest growing Halloween conventions in the country. It has sold out every single year it's happened, and it just keeps
Oh,
getting bigger and bigger. The people that run it are awesome. And one of the years I had, because I had to tell them, I was like, "Hey, like, I had," 'cause I had all my paintings up, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll just do caricatures because nobody's at this con is doing it, and it'll be fun." I wanted to cut my arm off because I had a 2-hour line just to, like, draw caricatures, and I was like, "Oh my god." And so I had messaged the people that run the con, and I said, "Hey, like, I need, like, a bigger booth space, like, or, like, wherever there can be, like, a line."
right.
'Cause it was just crazy, and so they put me right next to Elvira, which was cool because she's always there, and so yours would work perfectly because it's like you got
That
werewolf.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, but so your genre is
Yeah.
exactly what people there would want and to look into, and then they have, like, the one main room, which basically you've been to Comic Cons, like, the main vendor room, and then next to it, they have, like, the dark room, and it's all haunted house and special effects, and basically everyone that works on horror movies and does special effects is there. It's
Wow. Dude,
so
I gotta check that out. It's good networking and stuff too, you said, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I met a ton of people.
Damn, Midsummer Night's Scream.
Yeah, I'll send excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups now. I'll send you
Oh,
the info for it,
did
but
I try to scare
that would
you?
be perfect for your book.
100%. I'm definitely gonna look into that. And it's Long Beach. That's very, very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
No, it's a really fun con, and it's right by the ocean and everything. And one of the good things, like, if you're working there, like, they have, like, a special designated parking area, so you're not, like, trying to fight the people that are going to the con.
Right.
So it's nice. I really like that con. It's my favorite out of all of them, and I've been to a lot of cons.
That is a big statement coming from you.
Yeah, lots of cons, but also I think I'm just kinda sentimental because Halloween's my birthday, so I'm like, "Oh, it's all Halloween, it's all my birthday themed."
I mean, yeah, that seems rad. You get to combine all that and then check out this amazing con for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Everyone
gonna look
that's there
forward.
is super cool.
Um, wait, is it on Halloween?
No, it's midsummer. It's in August, it's the first weekend of August usually.
Oh, Midsummer.
Yeah.
It's in the name. I should have picked up on that.
Yeah, so it's the one thing that sucks about it is always the same weekend as the Star Trek con in Vegas.
Oh,
So I haven't
that's
been able to go out to the Star Trek con in Vegas in years because I've always been at Midsummer Scream, but I really like the con, and financially, you do really well, and then also it's just fun. So that would be perfect for your book.
100%. I mean, especially with good networking in the, kinda horror community and horror entertainment industry, that was one of the things we were trying to do on the first film. I had no idea how many, like, horror film festivals there were,
It's a
and
huge thing.
it was very eye-opening for me, and, I'm glad I had that experience early on because now I'm constantly looking out for them. So I'm stoked I can add this one to the list. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. Even if you can't, like, make it to the con this year, at least, like, go and check it out, and I think they're starting because they are so big, I think they're trying to do, like, one at Christmas time. I
Oh,
haven't
so yeah, like 2 a year and spreading them out.
Mhm,
Yeah.
and then, like, there's cons like Monsterpalooza or they're saying Horror Hound. I haven't been to Monsterpalooza or Horror Hound, so I can't really, like, speak on that, but all I know is the Midsummer Scream is a really good con, at least in my opinion. I have a lot of fun at
I'm gonna I'm gonna show it to Brock and be like, "Brock,
it.
gotta do this, bro."
Check it out. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. They have, like, paid actors that, like, dress up like clowns and they slide around. It's really cool.
I mean, that sounds
It's fun.
amazing
It's a
and
lot.
fantastic. Wait, clowns like slip and sliding or like
No, like, where they're called sliders, so they have, like, metal on, like, the pads on their knees and stuff, and they're dressed up like full on horror movie clown makeup, and they're about to kill you kinda thing, but then they, like, slide around on the concrete because they got those things.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then there's, like, the pyrotechnic people, and so it's really cool. It's like you're walking around and you're like, "Ah." It's fun.
I'm in. I'm sold. I'm gonna check it out.
It's really cool.
What are some of your other, favorite, like, kinda horror style cons or festivals or
I don't think I've ever been to another one. I only recently started going to cons really, but I guess, like, I like the Star Trek con, but that's not really horror. What other I don't know. I don't know. I liked MegaCon, in Orlando. It was just kind of hell getting to, and I was so hungover every single day.
Oh, man. What is, the anime Matsuri? Is that a fun one? I feel like I see a lot of people going.
Yeah, there's just not I feel like it's fun if you wanna hang out with people, but as far as, like, actually going and doing stuff at the con, at least for me, now I didn't go this past year because I had other things come up, but I don't know, there's a little, like, behind the scenes drama with it, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I know, like, Nick still goes every year. Yellow Flash was very, very angry, so he didn't go this past year, but,
Oh, no.
yeah, it's just it's it's an okay con, like, I have fun hanging out with, like, my friends and getting to meet people, but as far as, like, at the actual con, it's not, like, the top of things for me to do personally.
Just like a preference thing. That makes sense.
If I wanted to, like, just go hang out with my friends for a weekend, it's a good place to meet up and do that, but everything else, like, I d it's maybe if I knew more about anime, I would have more fun, but
Well, I feel like I'm a full-blown anime expert after watching 1 season of, One Piece on Netflix, so
oh my god, dude, I had that show on. I was cleaning. The in-laws decided to give us a surprise visit, so I was, like, frantically cleaning my kitchen,
Oh, wow.
and so I turned that on, and I was just not into it at all, and then all of a sudden,
No,
this little
no,
I was like, "I hate the main character, I want him to die." I was like, and the stupid clown guy,
no,
I wanted him to die, and then all of a sudden
Anna.
it got super interesting. This one character came on the screen, I just couldn't take my eyes off of it, the guy with, like, the little sword, and everyone's teasing me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm all of a sudden fascinated by this show, but, that was a good character.
Dracule Mihawk.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that Dracule Mihawk,
Yeah,
I believe.
he's very pretty, so
Oh, he's got so much style, dude, the way he talks and, like, the way he's introed into the show, like, you can't I mean, it's great.
I I
So did you end up liking it or no?
I don't know. No, I don't think I did, but I liked the scene he was in. I didn't know he talked until you just said it, though. Maybe I should go back and
Um,
watch it.
I'd check it out again. I'd check it out again for
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know.
There's, like yeah.
Maybe if I was younger.
Yeah, I think
I
it
like Naruto. Do you like Naruto?
Naruto
Mhm.
from One Piece? Or
No,
the other
Naruto's its own anime.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you meant there was a I'm like, I don't recognize that name from One Piece just because we were talking about it. Yeah,
No.
I'm like, I have a basically a I have DVDs and books that I have to get to,
Mm.
right? Because I wanna, like, get more into it now. So I'm, like, in the middle of going through that's why I was joking saying I'm, like, an anime expert now after watching it.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm,
Well,
like,
the one
starting my journey.
I guess there's this stupid little deer that they're saying is cute, and I looked it up because 'cause they're like, "Oh, I wonder how they're gonna like, he's gonna be the new Baby Yoda." I was like, "Baby Yoda? This thing's as cute as baby" some stupid deer in a hat, and I was like, "This thing is so ugly. There is no way that this is gonna be like a Baby Yoda stand-in on this show," and everyone got really mad at me because I said this stupid little deer was ugly.
Oh, no. You mixing it up.
Yeah, but apparently that's gonna come in One Piece soon, and I was like, "I am not amused at all."
It is in One Piece.
Yeah, the little deer, but it's gonna be on, like, the live action show.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, they
okay,
just
okay.
haven't brought him in yet.
Got it, got it. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm fascinated by that world. I think their world building was incredible. There's
It's an interesting
payoffs.
concept, like, just a bunch of islands and everyone's a pirate. I was like, if I that's why I'm saying, like, if I was a little kid, I might have liked it, but the main character, I'm like, "I just want you to die." Like,
Yeah,
I
I
want you to have
mean,
a brutal death because you annoy me.
he I feel like he definitely comes off as annoying for sure, and it's almost, like, meant to be that way, right? Like, just carefree and like, "Oh, I don't have to worry about anything." But I would say, like, maybe by the 3rd episode, you're, like, fully on board with everything, and
And
then by, like,
I watched
7
the
and 8
whole thing, and I was not.
oh, you finished it?
Yeah, no, I watched the whole thing.
Oh, okay, but when, like when Nami's asking him for help, like, he's like, "Of course I'm gonna be there." I'm like, "Oh, man,
I
so
didn't
good." And the chefs,
I didn't care.
you're
I have no heart.
killing me, Anna, you're killing me.
No, I was just like, I hated him. I know the Munchkin kind of spoiled it for me a little bit and told me, like, one character that's gonna betray all of them.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Tell you, but now that I know and I'm, like, watching it, I'm like, "I know you're, like, a double-sided, like, you're just gonna backstab everyone." But,
Um,
just I wasn't it was a little too I don't wanna say melodrama, but I don't know.
no,
Just
I
wasn't
feel you. It's very, very stylized, which
yeah.
makes it, I feel like,
You ever watch
somewhat of an
Spy
acquired
Kids when you were younger?
MySpace?
No, Spy Kids.
Oh,
It
yeah.
reminds me of, like, that level of, like, theatrics, like, when they go
Right,
to the island and there's, like, the thumb people, and they have
right.
all the little gadget or, like, Shock Boy and Lava Girl. It felt like it should have been done in that era because that's what it felt like, and I was like, "Okay, if I was a younger kid, I would be so into this," but because I'm an adult and I'm just out of that level, like, that kind of fantasy, it just doesn't resonate with me anymore.
No, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. I feel like the story and the characters won me over. I
Mm.
feel like I felt everything you're saying, like, episode 1, but then they just won me over, and I kinda got over that, essentially. But yeah.
No.
Anyway.
Season better, I don't know. I'll have to give it another try, but everyone likes it, and I'm like, "I just don't care." Like, I don't care about any of them.
It's all good. We all got our tastes and our things.
Yeah, everyone's like, "It's okay to be wrong, Anna," and I'm like, "I'm fine with being wrong about this. You guys can like it as much as you want."
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? We all got our stuff.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Well, we definitely went over the hour that, we were talking about. I don't wanna hold you too long.
Yeah, no, I got Simcast later. Chrissy has a family emergency, so I have been told
Oh,
I'm going to host, and so I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna host Simcast." So it's like, "Oh, yay, topics." The
oh,
main
that'll be awesome.
the main one, though, I gotta ask you, okay, who do you think, in your opinion, is worse, Amber Heard or Jada?
Oh, god. Oh, lordy.
I know. So that's gonna be one of the main topics. I'm gonna have
Okay.
to debate it. So I was like, I think Amber Heard is worse. Like, she shit in the bed, she cut off his finger, she beat him, she tried to ruin his life and going out saying that he beat her and all of this for years while he just had to sit back quietly. Whereas Jada, as far as I know, she hasn't cut off Will's finger, she hasn't shit in the bed, she hasn't physically beat him. She just like is emotionally a bitch, which if you just can turn off your emotions, then it's like I would just troll her. I'd be like, I just turn on Tupac and be like, he was gay.
I I feel like I think you kinda have to go with Amber just based off, like, evidence we know about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is
Okay, if you had to be married to one of them and you
ugh,
can't leave them, which one would it be? Amber or
don't
Jada?
do this to me. Jada.
You'd marry Jada?
Over Amber, yeah.
Okay, because everyone's like, "At least Amber's hotter." I was like, "I don't know, have you seen her recently?" Like, Jada's aging pretty well.
No, yeah, I mean, they're both, like, beautiful women, like, you can't you know, it's more about
It's their ugly personalities, it's the
the
ugliness.
intangibles, yeah.
That's why I was like, they're doing that, the Snow White movies. I was like, "So cast Amber Heard as the evil queen." Like, that's perfect casting. Everyone will hate her automatically, and everyone will be rooting for Snow White, and it makes sense because Amber Heard is like she doesn't like women that are younger and prettier than her. She doesn't have to
Right.
act.
So, wait, Amber Heard in Snow White?
Yeah, like if she was the evil queen in Snow White.
Oh, if she was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Work.
'Cause how can, like how would anyone believe that, like, Gal Gadot would be jealous of
I
someone
know.
else's looks?
I know.
But she's definitely very pretty.
Yeah, even though like and people were saying, well, like, "Oh, she's older." I'm like, "She's still hotter than women in their 20s." I mean, that's she's Wonder Woman, like, and the girl that they got to play Snow White, I'm like, "You're not even close to her level of attractiveness," like, just doesn't even make sense, but whatever, Disney will be Disney.
Yeah, can't control it.
Nope.
But that'll be fun. You're hosting Simcast. That's great.
Yes, hosting Simcast, guys, I don't know if it's gonna be on my channel or Chrissy's channel, I don't know what's going on, but I will somehow at 6 p.m. tonight, I will be hosting Simcast either on my channel or Chrissy's channel, but it's gonna be me. So wish me luck.
I'm excited. I'll tune in with the Sunday Night Football. It's perfect.
Oh, cool. Yay, football.
I'm sure that'll be a big topic of discussion on the cast.
Well, you know what's funny? Since you follow football, don't you love how Taylor Swift is helping out that like one football player get famous?
Travis Kelce on the Chiefs. Yeah, I think it's so funny. It's like I don't even know what happened. She just like started showing up at games, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Now everybody knows who he is.
It's like cool.
Yeah, I
She
had
is
no
just
idea who he was or what position he played or anything about him, and now he's everywhere because he's dating Taylor Swift. Like, this guy's a genius. And
right.
she's gonna write when they break up, she's gonna write a whole album about him, and he's gonna be milking that up. The dude is a genius. He's like milking Amber Heard.
I think Taylor is just like that big of a megastar, right? Like she's just on a whole other level. It's crazy. That's a good intersection of a Simcast topic with a football topic.
The football. See, what the World Cup for rugby is going on right now, and I was like, okay, can't talk about that. Okay, Ronaldo's doing really good with his qualifiers for Euro Cup, which I'm super excited about. Second you start talking about sports, it's like out the window.
Are you watching the Champions League?
I'm following what I can see on Twitter just because of like the time differences and everything, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, no, it's like I'm Euro Cup. I'm like, it's in Germany next year. I'm like, I really want to go so bad. And I was like, I want to see Ronaldo play before he retires because we had tickets for when he was still playing for Real Madrid at LA Galaxy, and we
Yep.
went, and that was right when he had his twins. So he wasn't
Oh
there.
no.
And I was like, you motherfucker. At least you have a good excuse.
Yeah.
Babies were born.
It's probably the best excuse, right?
Yeah, but still, I wanted to see them play. But I got to see Real Madrid, which is cool, but I wanted to see Ronaldo. And then I was like, I'm going to World Cup. And then it was in Qatar, and I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm not going to World Cup.
I mean, we had a chance to see him in Stockholm when he
Oh,
was on Real Madrid, and it didn't work out. But it's funny. It's just like something you
didn't you
should
meet
do.
Mbappe? Did I see that on your Instagram?
Oh, my dad and JJ were with him. It's a funny story around that, but they were in the same. They were in the owner's box,
Mm.
and I was like, "Wait, what? Like, is Mbappe there?" And Mbappe was suspended that game, so he was actually in the owner's
Nice,
box with
man.
them.
That's so cool.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, you gotta get a picture." So he took a picture and
No,
sent it to me, and I was stoked.
you're like, I'm jealous, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to go to Euro Cup so bad because I was like, I
I'd be
probably
so down to do that.
will win. I have faith because we won. I was like, I was so mad. I had the jersey from like last time, and my freaking cats, once they went through their little cat puberty, the boy who I thought was neutered decided to spray all over it, and so I was like, and I had to throw it away. It was the saddest day ever. But I had
Oh,
like my Ronaldo jersey from when they won, so I was like, ah. But this next one, I'm like, I want to go. It's in Germany. I've already been to Germany. I like Germany. Maybe fingers crossed.
yeah,
But
it'd be a great one to go to.
really good. But see, this is not something I can talk about on Simcast because girls hear sports and it's like, goodbye.
Well, we can do it on studio anytime.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, I remember when I met you guys and you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to the game. I was like, you better go. You know, the traffic in LA. You're like, no, we're going to San Francisco. I was like, you guys are crazy.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we're flying up for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Good memory.
I have an excellent memory. It's weird. Unless it's something that I need to know, like a Wi-Fi password, then it's like, then it's nope.
No, 100 you can type it in 100 times still. I feel the Wi-Fi password pain too. and websites in general, but
Mhm.
well,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it was fun. I am gonna have to get going 'cause, Simpcast, I gotta go set all of that up. But, thanks for having me on. It's been, fun hanging out and talking. It's been a while.
I
It's been over a year since I did
yeah.
the show.
No, thank you so much, for doing this, and LA
Oh,
Comic Con will be great, and I'm excited to check out your guys' panels and all that, and, it's fun to catch up.
yeah. Alright. Well, bye everyone in the chat.
Thank you, everybody.